We elected a pro-crypto administration in the US. We've established a Bitcoin strategic reserve. I think you're going to see governments around the world buying Bitcoin. I think you're going to see institutions buying Bitcoin and corporations buying Bitcoin. And if Bitcoin becomes an asset that's held by governments, by corporations, by institutions, I see no reason why it won't be parity with gold within the next 4 years. I sort of think we're in this new 4 year, multi-year cycle of government and institutional adoption. And I think the end point of that is parity with gold. And that's $1 million of Bitcoin. If we don't see these entities come into the market, then we won't get there. But I really think we will. And then it will be interesting to see where Bitcoin goes from there. But let's at least get to parity, and then we'll start working on the hard yards.
Hey, what's going on, bull runners? Welcome back to the channel. Picture this: the crypto market is buzzing, but something strange is brewing beneath the surface. Retail investors, people like you and me, are suddenly piling into an altcoin, and it's rising eyebrows. Meanwhile, a big name crypto guru is saying tariffs, yeah, those trade taxes are about to shake things up for Bitcoin in a way that no one saw coming. And hold on, it gets wilder. The EU might slap Elon Musk's X with a $1 billion fine over stuff like illicit content and disinformation. What does all this mean for your wallet? Stick with me because we're diving deep into these stories, breaking them down that so you can see the opportunities and the risks hiding in plain sight. The crypto world moves fast, and if you blink, you might miss the next big move. We're talking price swings, power plays, and a chance to get ahead of the game. Oh, and here's the kicker. Stay with me until the end because I have an exclusive sneak peek for you into something huge. A thriving crypto community called Altcoin Pro University, and trust me, it's worth the wait, so let's jump in. And by the way, if you're like most people where you don't have the opportunity to spend hours a day in the crypto news every single day like we do here in this channel and then bring it to you in a condensed manner, make sure you subscribe right now. And if you're feeling bullish about this current bull run, let me know by commenting 777 down below. Plus, we'll be jumping over to X to find out all of the breaking financial news today. We'll dive deeper into what is rising retail interest in XRP. We'll dive deeper into Arthur Hayes loving tariffs as printed money pain is good for Bitcoin, and EU could fine Elon Musk $1 billion. But first, let's head over to CoinMarketCap and check out the health of the overall crypto market. Today, we've got a $2.69 trillion total market cap. It is actually up 0.89% for us. And this is coming in after our most recent dip of 2.6 trillion, trying to make its way back over 2.8. And then really what we've been trying to pay attention to and get everyone on board with is paying attention when it gets back above $3 trillion. It's going to be a very important milestone for crypto as a whole. Fear and Greed Index coming in at 27 today. Altcoin Season Index hitting us with 16. Bitcoin dominance remains at 61.9%. And our Bitcoin ETF tracker, unfortunately, ending the week down $144 million. As we've been following, we had two positive weeks to the upside. Price was really starting to tick up. 2 weeks ago, 627 million. Last week, 196 million. Had a good start to this week. Unfortunately, could not hold that, and it really started to fall off. The April 3rd tally came in at minus 43 million. April 2nd was minus 99 million. Had a really good day on April 1st, coming in at 218 million to the upside, but unfortunately it could not take out these lows. Top 5 trending coins according to CoinMarketCap today. Number 1 is Bitcoin. Number 2, XRP. Number 3, Solana. Number 4, Ethereum. Number 5, Dogecoin. Top 5 cryptos by total market cap. Number 1 is Bitcoin at 1.6 trillion. Ethereum coming in at 219 billion. Tether at 144 billion. XRP at number 4 at 124 billion. BNB at 84 billion. And Solana taking back that 6th spot. It was overtaken by USDC yesterday, but now coming in at $62 billion. Heading over to X to find out the financial news that's happening right now. The latest, the SEC just announced 4 upcoming crypto roundtables covering trading, custody, real-world asset tokenization, DeFi, starting on April 11th. So as you know, when this new administration took place, they were really going to put an emphasis on crypto, and they're not stopping for anything. They continue to charge ahead with this crypto legislation. And in some positive news for this craziness that's going on with tariffs right now, Vietnam to cut US tariffs to 0%. Ash Crypto says, dang, it's working. And we got Donald Trump posting here, just had a very productive call with Lam, General Secretary of the Communist Party of Vietnam, who told me that Vietnam wants to cut their tariffs down to zero if they're able to make an agreement with the U.S. I thanked him on behalf of our country and said, I look forward to a meeting in the near future. Now, remember, there's two things that could be happening with these tariffs. Number one, Trump puts the tariffs in place and holds them in place for a long period of time. And then the External Revenue Service comes in and starts collecting all of the money from these countries that are actually costing us money, and their trade agreements have all been one-sided, but Trump wants to fix that. So that's number one thing that could be where the External Revenue Service collects money for years and years into the future to become. Or there's a potential that Trump is putting these tariffs on all of these countries to do exactly this. If we can get to net zero or as close to net zero trading partners, then he could remove all the tariffs and then everyone can stop complaining about tariffs. So what do you think? Is it going to be Trump holding the tariffs to collect money for the United States to make us rich again? Or is he just trying to get to net zero trading to where that will also help our country become rich again? Brazilian court rules that debtors' crypto assets can be seized to pay off debts. So if you owe somebody money, you owe a credit card company, or you owe a mortgage, or you owe the state or the country of Brazil money, the third chamber of the Brazilian Supreme Court ruled that judges are allowed to send notices to cryptocurrency exchanges to seize your crypto assets in debtors' accounts to repay debts. Now, what's really funny about this, right? Because you always see the meme, my bank account, my crypto wallet, and it shows a picture of the bank account with $10 in it and then the crypto wallet with $1 million in it, right? Because people are always trying to hold on to crypto because they think it's going to go to the moon and we're all going to get rich. Well, now the Brazil says, we noticed that and we're going to come and just take your crypto to pay the debts that you owe. As you saw in the intro of the video, Bitcoin to $1 million. The chief investment officer at Bitwise just made a huge prediction. Bitcoin could reach the same value as gold within the next 4 years. That means $1 million per Bitcoin. And this was my favorite picture I saw. Very sad scenario going on with traditional stocks. But take a look at this. Are we finally decoupling from the stock market with crypto? Crypto all green today, while the stock market was all red. Justin, 3.25 trillion wiped out from the stock market today. 5.4 billion was added to the crypto market. But you can see how much more money is in the traditional markets. And that's why on this channel, we continue to talk about real world assets, tokenization. As you remember, Larry Fink is talking about tokenizing ETFs, tokenizing stocks. Look at all of the liquidity that is in the traditional finance markets as opposed to what's going on in crypto. Now, crypto had similar rises to the day, right? 3%, 4%, 5% to the upside in the green. Meanwhile, over here, 3%, 3%, 6%, 7%, but the astronomical difference in numbers, trillion versus billion. And this was an interesting post as well. The US stock market has lost around $7 trillion since Wednesday, over $11 trillion since Trump took office. So more and more theories are coming out that Trump does want to take the market short term so that way he can refinance the debt, which is coming up later this month. Justin, SEC declares fully reserved, liquid, dollar-backed crypto stablecoins are not securities. Very positive. Justin, retail investors bought $4.7 billion in stocks yesterday, the most in a decade. So unfortunately, they took another hit because the stocks obviously went down. But we can see that retail investors are trying to buy the dip in traditional finance as well. Jumping over to the main headlines of the day, Arthur Hayes loves tariffs as printed money. Pain is good for Bitcoin. He says tariffs will correct global imbalances, which will positively impact Bitcoin's price over the medium term. The BitMEX co-founder Arthur Hayes says US President Trump's tariffs may rattle the global economy in some ways, but the same disruption could be exactly what Bitcoin needs to rally. Global imbalances will be corrected and the pain papered over will be printed with money, which is good for Bitcoin. Several factors contribute to Bitcoin's potential pump. He says several of y'all are running scared, but I love tariffs. His comments come just day after it was announced that Trump administration will hit all countries with 10% tariffs starting on April 5th, with some countries facing even larger tariffs such as China and the European Union and Japan. One of the reasons that it's good for Bitcoin is because it's weakening the US dollar, the Dixie, as overseas investors continue to sell off stocks and bring money home. April 3rd marked the largest single-day point loss in the NASDAQ history. The index lost a total of 1,060 points and came just 1.5% away from triggering first circuit breaker since March 2020. Hayes also said that a stringent tariff placed on China may weaken the yuan. With a 65% effective tariff levied, China could respond by allowing the Chinese yuan to weaken past 8. A weakening yuan may force the hand of Chinese investors to look at riskier assets such as Bitcoin to preserve their wealth. And that's interesting because if you remember, we covered a couple of days ago, Xi Jinping has officially allowed China to start buying crypto again. And as you can see here from one of his X posts, we need Fed easing. The 2-year Treasury yield dumped after tariff announcement because the market is telling us the Fed will be cutting soon and possibly restarting quantitative easing to counter. Meanwhile, Jeff Park, head of Alpha Strategies Bitwise, said in a world of weaker dollar and weaker US rates, risk assets in the US will fly through the roof beyond your wildest imagination. So that is both Bitcoin and stock market. So we just saw today Jerome Powell went out and spoke, and unfortunately he didn't say anything about cutting rates. He's still trying to hold strong anti-Trumping. The Federal Reserve needs to cut its rate. And as far as the economic news that came out today, it was actually an amazing number for the non-farm employment change. It was forecasted 137,000 jobs, and it came in at 228,000, 91,000 beat, which is an absolute amazing number. Now, the unemployment rate did rise 0.1% from a target forecast of 4.1 to a 4.2, which is not very bad. But then Jerome Powell came out and started talking his blah, blah, blah BS and didn't mention cutting rates. He says he's not ready to cut rates. He says he loves his job. It's the best job ever. Of course you love your job. You're the most powerful man in the world because you are in charge of the Federal Reserve, which is a privately owned bank that controls the world. Of course, you're going to love that job. Come on. And the EU is looking to fine Elon Musk $1 billion. The EU regulators allege that X has violated the Digital Services Act and will use a section of the act to calculate a fine based on revenue that includes other company Musk controls. According to an April 3rd report by the newspaper, which cited 4 people with knowledge of the plan. The act that came into law in 2022, the police the social media companies and prevent illegal and harmful activities online. Companies can be fined up to 6% of their global revenue for violations. In a statement from X's global government affairs team said that the reports about the EU's plans are accurate. It represents an unprecedented act of political censorship and attack of free speech. It also came out that X is facing a second investigation alleging the platform's approach to policing user-generated content has made a hub for illegal hate speech and disinformation, which could result in more penalties. The EU investigation began in 2023. A preliminary ruling July 2024 found X had violated the Digital Services Act by refusing to provide data outside researchers, providing adequate transparency about advertisers, or verify the authenticity of users who have verified accounts. Musk has said he's going to look forward to a very public battle in court so that people of Europe can know the truth. So the European Union is starting to go down a very scary path as far as censorship and totalitarianism. Very, very weird stuff going on over there in the EU. And our main headline of the night, XRP, what rising retail interest means for the altcoin. XRP retail demand surges massively, outshining Bitcoin's address growth.
Hey, bull runners, check this out. If you want to learn how to find the next 10x, 50x, or even 100x altcoin in this video, listen to this. Our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny, and since then it rallied to over $1 and is currently still up over 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team called Pendle at only a $16 million market cap, or 16 cents, back on February 18th of 2023, all the way back here, and since then it's rallied up over 4,000%. That's a 40x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $40,000. Our team also called BitTensor Tau September 15th, 2022, before the token was ever even launched. And since then, Tau has rallied over 2,000%. That's a 20x. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. and the bull run is just getting started. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University. Just go through the link in the description below, get in right now, watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers.